Welcome to Stories by Greg Kerns. Today I'll be reading Leola's Turning Point. In this story, we're going to hear about a 12-year-old girl named Leola Spencer who struggles to adjust after her family moves to a new city. Leola finds herself in a new school, a demanding dance studio, and a world of social pressures that leave her feeling overwhelmed and defeated. Will she be able to find her passion and purpose through the discipline of dance, or will she let rejection and setbacks hold her down? We won't know until the end, so sit back and enjoy Leola's Turning Point. Act 1. Leola Spencer sat on the carpeted floor of her bedroom, clutching her favorite stuffed panda, its worn fur brushed smooth by years of comfort. Around her, boxes stacked like jagged skyscrapers were filled with books, clothes, and pieces of her life in Huntersville, North Carolina. Her father, Nate, knocked softly on the door before stepping inside. "Hey, sweetheart, you ready for the big move?" he asked with forced cheer. Leola glared at him. "No." Donna, her mother, appeared in the doorway. "Leola, now we talked about this. It's a great opportunity for Dad. He's going to be working at Tyler Perry Studios in East Pointe, Georgia." "East Pointe?" Leola frowned. "It's in Atlanta, and we found a nice house near the studio." "I don't want to go to Atlanta," Leola muttered, hugging her knees. Despite her protest, the Spencers moved to East Pointe. Nate and Donna tried enrolling Leola in a private school, but mid-year admissions weren't an option. Instead, she started at Crestwood Middle, a sprawling public school with intimidating hallways and hundreds of unfamiliar faces. To soften the transition, her parents gave her a gift, her first phone. It was supposed to help her make friends, but instead, it became a portal to a world of social media drama. Within weeks, Leola found herself in an online spat that spilled into real life, leading to a heated confrontation at school. The resulting suspension left Nate and Donna scrambling to find a solution. "I think she needs something positive to focus on," Donna said one night after Leola had stomped off to her room. "What about dance?" "Oh, she hasn't been interested in dance since we got here," Nate replied. But Donna didn't give up. She knew about Ballethnic, a highly regarded black dance company based in East Pointe. That weekend, Donna surprised Leola with tickets to see the Ballethnic Dance Company's production of Leopard Tale. Leola sulked the entire drive, but as soon as the performance began, her attitude changed. The rhythmic beat of the drums and the dancers' powerful movements pulled her in. For the first time in weeks, she smiled. "Mom," Leola said as the curtain fell, her voice hushed with awe, "do you think I could take classes here?" Donna grinned. "I was hoping you'd ask." Act 2. Leola's first day at Ballethnic Dance Academy felt both intimidating and exciting. As Donna walked her into the studio, they passed framed posters of past performances, Urban Nutcracker, Leopard Tale, and others. The energy in the air was thick, the space alive with the history of countless dancers who had trained there. "Ballethnic is special, Leola," Donna said softly, sensing her daughter's nerves. "It's one of the few black-owned dance companies in the country. The founders, Miss Nina Gilreath and Mr. Waverly Lucas, were dancers at Dance Theater of Harlem in New York before they came here to Atlanta. They'd spent more than 30 years building this company and training young dancers like you." Leola nodded but didn't reply. She glanced into the studio where a group of dancers were warming up at the bar. They moved with a grace and precision that left her feeling out of place. Miss Nina greeted them at the door, her poised demeanor both welcoming and authoritative. "Leola, welcome to Ballethnic. I'm glad you're here. Are you ready to work hard?" "Yes, ma'am," Leola replied, though her voice wavered. As class began, Donna lingered for a moment, watching from the doorway. She couldn't help but smile, remembering the time she had first seen Ballethnic perform Urban Nutcracker as a child. Back then, it had been a revelation to see so many black dancers performing classical ballet with such power and pride. She hoped this experience would be just as transformative for Leola. Little did Leola know, this place, rich with heritage and steeped in discipline, would soon become the center of her world. But first, she had to face the challenges ahead. Leola's first day at Ballethnic Dance Academy began with a rush of excitement and nerves. She smoothed her new leotard and tights, double-checked her ballet shoes, and stepped into the studio, where the air was thick with the faint scent of rosin and sweat. The walls were lined with mirrors, reflecting a group of dancers stretching gracefully. Some practiced pirouettes and forte turns with ease that left Leola awestruck. "All right, class, center work," Miss Nina called out, her voice commanding yet warm. Leola joined the line, feeling a mix of hope and dread. The pianist struck a chord, and Miss Nina began demonstrating a sequence, a plie into a pirouette followed by a series of traveling steps. It looked elegant but deceptively simple. When it was her turn, Leola stumbled halfway through, missing the timing. "Leola, keep your shoulders down and focus on the choreography," Miss Nina instructed, clapping her hands. Leola flushed, glancing sideways at the other dancers. They executed the combination almost flawlessly, their movements synchronized and polished. She tried again, but her pirouette wobbled and she couldn't keep up with the sequence. By the end of class, her legs ached, her confidence bruised. Back home, she slumped on the couch, scrolling through her phone while ignoring Donna's attempts to talk about her day. "How was class?" Donna asked, her tone light. "It was fine," Leola mumbled, refusing to look up. Donna pressed on. "Just fine? You don't sound very excited." Stupid," Leola snapped. "I'm not good enough for that studio." Donna frowned but let the comment slide. She had learned that pushing Leola too hard usually backfired. A few weeks later, auditions for an upcoming Ballethnic show were announced. Leola was determined to prove herself. She rehearsed at home, practicing her pirouettes until her toes throbbed. On audition day, she entered the studio with a mixture of nerves and hopes, clutching her number. The choreography was challenging, an intricate mix of classical ballet moves and more contemporary urban styles. Leola gave it her all, but the competition was fierce. By the end of the day, her muscles burned and her leotard was soaked with sweat. The results were posted the following week. Leola scanned the list eagerly, her heart pounding, but her name wasn't there. Miss Nina approached her as she lingered near the board, tears welling in her eyes. "Leola, you've improved, but you're not ready for the stage yet. Keep working and you'll get there." Leola barely heard the rest of her words. The rejection stung more than any correction in class. She had been dancing since she was 5. Why wasn't she good enough? When she got home, she slammed her dance bag on the floor and stormed into her room. "I'm done with this stupid studio," she shouted when Donna came to check on her. "What happened?" Donna asked gently. "They don't want me in their show. I've been dancing for years and they still think I'm not good enough," Leola snapped. Donna sighed. "Leola, sometimes it takes time to reach the next level. You're new here. You just need to be patient." "I don't care. I'm quitting," Leola declared, burying her face in her pillow. The following weeks were a struggle. Leola went to class, but with a visible chip on her shoulder. She didn't put full effort into the choreography, rolled her eyes at corrections, and occasionally skipped classes altogether. "Leola," Miss Nina said after one particularly rough day, "you're not giving me your best. What's going on?" Leola shrugged, avoiding her eye contact. "Why bother? I'll never be good enough for this place anyway." Miss Nina's sharp gaze softened. "Leola, no one becomes part of a professional troupe or stars in classical ballet performances overnight. It takes discipline and dedication. I see potential in you, but you have to see it in yourself first." Her words lingered in Leola's mind, though she didn't want to admit it. One particularly challenging day, Miss Nina corrected Leola repeatedly during a sequence of forte turns. "Spot your head, stay on your center, again," she called out. Leola tried but faltered once more. Frustrated, she let out a loud groan, threw her arms up in the air, and stormed out of the studio. She sat in the hallway, tears streaming down her cheeks. A few minutes later, Miss Nina appeared and sat beside her. "What's really bothering you, Leola?" Miss Nina asked, her voice calm. Leola hesitated before whispering, "I don't fit in here. Everyone's better than me. I want to be in the shows, but I keep failing." Miss Nina placed a hand on her shoulder. "Do you know why we hold auditions and why we have such a rigorous schedule? It's not to discourage you, it's to prepare you. Dancing is about more than just talent. It's about showing up, working hard, and persevering even when it feels impossible." Leola sniffled. "But what if I'm not good enough?" You won't know unless you keep trying, Miss Nina said. You have the spark, Leola. Now you just need to fan the flame. From that moment, Leola began to change. She paid closer attention in class, practicing her pirouettes with determination. Slowly but surely, she started to improve, not just in her dancing, but in her attitude. Her turning point came when Mr. Waverly showed up at her house after hearing about her struggles. His speech about not being a quitter struck a chord. Do you think the greats gave up the first time they didn't get cast? No, they worked hard, he said. If you quit now, this failure will follow you. But if you push through, you'll see what you're truly capable of. Leola thought about his words all night and decided she wasn't ready to give up. The next morning, she returned to class and approached Miss Nina. I'm ready to work, she said firmly. Miss Nina smiled. Good, let's get started. This time, Leola was ready to give it everything she had. Act 3. Over the summer, Leola dedicated herself to improving. She practiced tirelessly, arriving early and staying late. When school started again, her confidence had spilled over into her academics and her grades improved dramatically. In the fall, she auditioned for Urban Nutcracker. This time, she earned a spot in the Waltz of the Flowers. Rehearsals were intense, but Leola faced each challenge head-on. By the end of the final performance, in December, Leola stood backstage beaming with pride. Miss Nina gathered the dancers on stage and then stood in front of the company. What an amazing performance. You all worked so hard this year, but I'm especially proud of one dancer in particular. This year's most improved dancer is Leola Spencer, she announced. Applause filled the stage as Leola stepped forward, her heart soaring. For the first time in months, she felt a deep sense of belonging and accomplishment. That night, Leola sat in her room, her phone untouched on her desk. She didn't need it. Dance had given her something far more important, a purpose. Thank you for listening to Leola's Turning Point, part of Stories by Greg Kerns. Leola's journey is a reminder of how discipline, resilience, and cultural pride can help us overcome life's challenges. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to check out more of my work at gregkerns.tv, where you'll find other tales of growth, creativity, and inspiration. Thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, take care.